welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com.
In today's news, that's breaking news. Miss BVI Sub-Committee has announced Keyona Cameron as a Best Evening Wear winner.
We also see an American actor, Mr. Alec Baldwin, fatally shooting a crew member with a prop gun on a movie set.
The HLCSC Community College accredited with the National Council of Construction, Education and Research.
We also see the Royal Navy ship arriving in the British Virgin Islands. And of course, today we are observing Spina Bifida Day, of course, by rocking our yellow. We'll get into the details for that and so much more on today's edition of 284 News.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
A pleasant welcome, viewers. It is a fantastic Friday evening here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Friday, October 22nd, 2021. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. It is always a pleasure. We thank you so much for joining us. Jovan, as you mentioned in the intro, we are rocking our yellow in observance of Spina Bifida Awareness. Of course, viewers, just about 1 year ago, the lovely Miss Zubaida O'Neill came to our studios and really shared her very personal story of her and her daughter, the lovely Azia Grant. And we really do appreciate the authenticity of sharing such story. And since then, the movement has really continued and persons have been jumping on the cause, they've been supporting, and today we are painting the town yellow. And
I absolutely love it. I really do applaud Mrs. O'Neill and her bravery coming forward, because yes, we do know that this existed before, but bringing awareness to it to the extent that she has as a mother and from that face value, I think it really shifted our thinking in the Virgin Islands. And of course, this month, such a dynamic month of activities planned. They had a bake sale, they had a walk, today we're painting the town yellow, and of course on Sunday I think the events culminate with a brunch
which is sold out actually. But believe it or not, Jovan, prior to her sharing her story, truth be told, many persons within the Virgin Islands were not aware of the name and the actual symptoms as well as what the disease does to children. So we do thank her so much for sharing her story, and we continue to support the movement that is the Spina Bifida Awareness. They've officially launched, and they are now an association with a board and doing remarkable things. And
of course, Zaria just continues to shine. I mean, if you've seen a picture or video of her, she's just simply remarkable. So we're always sending her love.
All right, beginning on the local scene, the Miss British Virgin Islands 2021 Pageant Committee contestant number 1, Keyona Cameron, is officially the winner of the Miss BVI Pageant Best Evening Wear Award. Now, during the presentation of awards at the Miss British Virgin Islands pageant on Sunday, the Miss BVI Committee say that contestant number 3, Jarena Penn, was announced, which in actuality happened as the winner of the Best Evening Wear Award, but they say that was an error in an official letter dated October 18th, received by the Miss BVI Pageant Subcommittee from the pageant's tabulator. The Department of Information Technology acknowledged the error. Now the letter states, and I quote, "There was an error in the presentation of the award in the segment in question. The calculations on the master tabulation sheet are correct. However, the wrong contestant name was printed on the results sheet for the presentation of this award. Miss Keyona Cameron, contestant number 5, is the rightful winner of the evening wear segment." End of comment. Now, following a review of the pageant's scores, it was identified that contestant number 5, Miss Keyona Cameron, who had 1.4 more points than contestant number 3, Jarena Penn, should have received that award. Now, in a subsequent meeting held by the Miss BVI Subcommittee, contestant number 3, Jarena Penn, along with her representatives, were apprised of the error. Contestant number 5, Keyona Cameron, who was absent from the meeting, will receive, they say, a copy of the official letter produced by the tabulators. All other awards presented at the 2021 Miss British Virgin Islands pageant were accurate. Now, the Miss BVI Pageant Subcommittee strives to be transparent, they say, and accountable in the management of the affairs of the Miss British Virgin Islands pageant. Of course, Jovan, the highly anticipated Miss BVI pageant was recently held, and we see where new events have emerged, and this is a most recent statement by the pageant committee. I must bring reference to a few years ago. I believe it was Miss Universe, the amazing Steve Harvey, and I think we
Oh yes,
all,
that came to my right away.
we all remember that epic and just
Will never be
amazing
forgotten.
situation of events where a wrong winner was announced. We do understand that things happen, and we do appreciate as we said before, the transparency, what they're striving for, transparency.
Yes, and you know, this, since the story broke, of course, lots of controversies, lots of conversations on the ground, but I'm happy to see them awarding it to who, I guess, won that segment. Viewers, as we move into today's newscast, the HMS Medway has arrived in the Virgin Islands for a 4-day visit, during which the ship will demonstrate its humanitarian aid and disaster relief capabilities. Now, viewers, Medway provides a permanent presence in the Caribbean, and during the hurricane season is now joined by another ship to form the UK's Caribbean's Task Group, which is ready and prepared to provide immediate support in the event of a natural disaster in the region. They will be on display on Sunday, October 24th in the Queen Elizabeth II Park between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., where members of the ship's company will demonstrate the disaster relief skills and capability of the task group. This will include chainsaw clearance techniques and the showcasing of equipment, including quad bikes, trailer, tools, shelters, and ration battleship games, and of course, flag decoding competitions with the ship. In addition to the display on Monday, a team from the task group will be working alongside the Department of Disaster Management, who are running a tabletop exercise with the key actors in disaster scenarios. The task group consists of the patrol ship, the HMS Medway, the tanker Wave Knight, and its embarked Wildcat, that is the HMA-2 helicopter, along with the crisis response troop drawn from 24 Commando Royal Engineers. It also carries a specialist equipment and, of course, emergency supplies for use in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. Now, speaking to the project is His Excellency the Governor John Rankin CMG, who said, and I quote, "I am very pleased that Royal Navy ship HMS Medway has arrived in the territory today for a 4-day visit. I look forward to meeting with the task group commander, Trim, and the ship commanding officer, Mr. Chris Hollingworth, today to hear more about the humanitarian aid and disaster relief they stand ready to provide in the immediate aftermath of a natural disaster. I would encourage everyone to come and see their skills and capability on show at the Queen Elizabeth II Park this Sunday, October 24th, between 1 to 4 p.m. And I look forward to hearing how the disaster tabletop exercise goes on Monday, with key agencies working alongside DDM and the Medway team." Now, Ron, we know this is nothing new to the Virgin Islands, and of course, in support to even the British overseas territories, and I think in extension to the Caribbean region, we do see these Royal Navy ships coming into the region to ensure that they can provide assistance in the event of a natural disaster. We've seen it, we've benefited from it, and I'm just really happy to see that presence continuing in the Virgin Islands.
Absolutely. Continue on, viewers, on the local scene. The British Virgin Islands, Health Services Authority joins global health community in observing Infection Prevention Week. The Infection Prevention and Control Committee of the British Virgin Islands Health Services Authority will be joining the rest of the world in celebrating International Infection Prevention Week. That is from the 17th to the 23rd of October 2021 under the theme Make Your Intention Infection Prevention. A beautiful topic and headline that is. I'm going to repeat it. Make Your Intention Infection Prevention. Now, this year's theme has been labeled timely, of course, in the consideration of the battle against the global COVID-19 pandemic. The theme, which is focused on infection prevention, is demonstrated of commitments to keep the world safe from healthcare associated outbreaks. As COVID-19 continues, attention is placed on infection prevention, which is crucial part in the fight to keep the British Virgin Islands safe and healthy. Now, during the 2021 observance of the infection prevention and control community that really protects millions of persons from surges in healthcare-associated infections will be highlighted. These infection preventions are at the front line of not just COVID-19 pandemic, but the prevention of measles outbreaks, flu outbreaks every season, and of course many other day-to-day infection battles. Now, for the 2021 Infection Prevention Week, the committee of the BVI HSA is aiming to showcase the role that individuals can play in the healthcare and the health and safety of our territory. This will be done by spotlighting the science behind infection prevention, the importance of countering misinformation, as well as the fostering and encouraging of future infection preventions. Now, viewers, while explaining this year's theme, Infection Prevention and Control Manager, Mrs. Rosa Seaman pointed out that everyone who is a part to play really in the outbreaks and the prevention of such. She noted that the Association of Professionals in Infection Control and Epidemiology is recommended and inclusive of the approach to infection prevention. She said, and I quote, "Healthcare professionals and consumers can break the chain by practicing staying current on all recommended vaccines, including, of course, the annual flu vaccines, covering coughs and sneezes, staying home when sick, and using antibiotics to wisely prevent antibiotic resistance. Please," she said, "make your intention infection prevention." That was Mrs. Rivera Seaman. She also stated that annual Infection Prevention Week is organized by the Association for Professionals in Infection Control and Epidemiology and hosted locally by the Infection Prevention and Control Unit of the British Virgin Islands Health Services Authority. And Jovan, we see where the BVI Health Services Authority is once again not only observing infection prevention and control. However, they are really making a plea. And it's so funny and interesting how COVID-19 has continued to really broaden our horizons and really made us aware of many issues. I had the honor of spending the morning at the lobby at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital today, where health professionals from the COVID ward to mental health shared their take on what infection prevention would look like during an open house. And I think I'd love to encourage persons rather to view that live, where you really get an understanding of each of their interpretations from a department perspective. For example, mental health really took the stage and said, well, you know, if your mental health is essentially in shambles, that then affects the rest of your body.
Absolutely.
So they really had an opportunity to break down, and also we had an opportunity to see many of the frontline workers, the doctors and nurses, who we have not seen in a very long time because they've so been caught up and busy fighting COVID-19 in the back of the house and behind the scenes, that we got an opportunity to see them shine and really come to the public's front and really share their interpretation.
And I'm really happy to hear that. So viewers, again, that information, that live is available via our 284 media page, so you can head on over there. And of course, continue to applaud the work of our frontline workers and of course everyone who is helping us in this fight. One of the things that we have to continue to remember is that yes, COVID-19 is a beast, it's a monster, but there's so many other moving elements to our health, to our life. And like you said, Ron, a lot of persons really underestimate things like your mental wellness, not understanding how that manifests into physical sickness. So I'm really happy to see us really confronting this conversation and widening our reach. So viewers, 284 Media is definitely the place to check that out. Now, still ahead of the break, HLSCC is now accredited with the National Council of Construction Education and Research, and also the Elections Supervisor completes an observer mission. Stick with us, there's so much more coming after this quick commercial break.
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. The H. Lavery-Stout Community College continues at the territory in leading the training and certification efforts following the successful accreditation by the National Council of Construction Education and Research. Now, President of the H. Lavery-Stout Community College, Dr. Richard Georges, said, and I quote, "Accreditation with the NCCER is a key component to the college's strategic vision. I am happy to congratulate the Workforce Training Division for their diligent work in making this a reality. Now, this development will go some way towards improving standards of training in the construction and technical trades within the territory of the Virgin Islands, and we are eager," he said, "to get started." Now, to become an accredited training sponsor, ATS, the Workforce Training Division at HLSCC, went through a rigorous process to ensure that the institution could meet the standards that the NCCER requires. 3 persons at the institution were trained in the process, namely Mrs. Marva Wheatley Dawson, Dean of Workforce Training and Sponsor Representative, who is certified as a master trainer and a primary liaison between the ATS and NCCER. Mr. Desmond Augustus, acting representative, of course, for the master training, and Ms. Deja Fonseca, lecturer within the technical studies and master trainer. Now, as the accrediting body for the construction industry, NCCER establishes the benchmark for quality training and assessments by offering certification in construction, electrical, plumbing, welding, and other related fields. NCCER is a non-profit education foundation serving a broad spectrum of the construction and maintenance industries. It is also supported by the participation of trade associations, contractors, schools, construction and maintenance users, pipeline operators, manufacturers, and third-party providers. Now, working in partnership with various sectors of the construction and maintenance industries, it is important to note that NCCER has dedicated itself to developing and maintaining quality curricula and a training process that is globally recognized, standardized, portable, and competency-based. NCCER has developed standards for the operation of accredited training programs to ensure that a standardized quality education is provided by all construction and maintenance trainees. NCCER's accreditation process, viewers, assures that students and craft professionals receive quality training based on uniform standards and criteria. These standards are outlined in the NCCER accreditation guidelines and must be adhered to by all NCCER accredited training sponsors and accredited assessment centers. Jovan, once again, we see the H. Lavery-Stout Community College of the British Virgin Islands moving from strides to stride, making leaps and bounds and making sure that they are accredited. And I'm particularly pleased with this most recent accreditation because we have long been pushing the mantra, I would say really and truly very aggressively since the hurricanes of 2017 and the construction industry, and wanting to really revive that industry and really and truly realizing how important it is for us to train locals within that field. For a very long time, if we're honest with ourselves, we have relied upon the expertise of expatriate workers to really benefit that industry. So now we see where the H. Lavery-Stout Community College is making their strides in making sure that locals alike, as well as non-locals across the region, can better themselves in making sure that they're trained. And we're living in a day and age where not only construction but electrical maintenance, plumbing, all of that is really the driving force for various industries. So congratulations to the leads in that program at the Department of Workforce Training.
Absolutely. Even at, I think about this, and this is such a big deal for the college, first of all, but as I think about some of the mass immigration issues we've had, it always doubles back for me in my mind to us really assessing what the needs are on the ground. We've heard politicians in particular really reference to the fact that construction is a viable industry for the Virgin Islands, especially like you mentioned, coming off of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. You recognize the importance, similar to food security. What prerequisites are we putting in place to ensure that we have good standing in the event of disaster? So I'm really happy to see this, and I do applaud it. And testament again to the fact, I recall someone just recently speaking to the fact that when Honorable O'Neill brought up the idea for a college. I hope I'm not misquoting.
That's Honorable Lavity Stout.
That Honorable
first
Lavity
Chief
Stout.
Minister, yes.
Persons really downed his concept, his idea. He said, this was not going to work in the Virgin Islands, and here we are getting accredited, and possibly will be attracting persons from across the region to be a part of this program. So I think all in all, this is definitely a win-win for all of us. Now, as we move on, the Supervisor of Elections, Mrs. Sherry Griffith, represented the British Virgin Islands and Mediterranean region as a short-term observer during an election expert mission for the St. Helena general elections held on October 13th. Now, viewers, the observation mission, which was held from October 4th to the 14th, included an international team of analysts and others invited by the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, who were tasked with reviewing election processes in accordance with international standards and domestic legislation. The observer team interviewed stakeholders, including St. Helena's governor and deputy governor, returning officer, members of the media, political candidates, students, and members of civil society. From their observations, a report of recommendations for improving St. Helena's electoral process was produced. Now, our very own Deputy Governor, Mr. David Archer, stated that Mrs. Griffin's participation in the observer mission will ultimately bolster the territory's efforts to continuously make improvements to the efficiency of our electoral process. Mr. David Archer said, and I quote, "I am pleased that Ms. Griffin has had the opportunity to share her experience as an elections professional with the other members of the team in their efforts to improve the election process for St. Helena." He added, "Such regional and international exercises truly benefit good governance globally and also provides areas of opportunities for us to make the necessary adjustments to our very own electoral process if we see initiatives that can be incorporated." End of quote. The Supervisor of Elections said that she was very pleased to participate in this exercise as part of the CPA's team from the BVI and the Mediterranean region, adding that she truly valued the experience she has gained from observing the election practices of St. Helena. Mrs. Griffin said, and I quote, "The Office of the Supervisor of Elections understands the importance of effective, nonpartisan management of elections. The mission underscored this some of the significant advances we have made in the territory with our electoral process. But as the international standards continue to increase, we have to ensure we remain in line with those changes and strengthen our electoral practices and supporting mechanisms." End of quote. The remote islands of St. Helena, Ascension Island, and Tristan da Cunha forms a British overseas territory that lies in the South Atlantic Ocean, midway between Africa and South America. In July 2021, the Privy Council approved an order in council containing the amendments to the 2019 Constitution to transition to a ministerial government. The 2021 St. Helena general election saw voters selecting 12 councillors to the Legislative Council, from which 5 of the elected officials will be assigned ministerial portfolios, a change made following a referendum. Ron, always good to see our personal representatives, the
Yes.
BVI's representatives, not only touching base with the region and sharing some of our successes and what we've been able to put in place, and the structures, the mechanisms, but also learning from the regional and international stage on how we can improve our processes, especially in such a critical time where we're observing things like the COI, and good governance really comes into play, ensuring that as we go forward, we have the necessary tools. So kudos to Mrs. Griffin and her team.
Viewers, up next, a tragedy in a movie industry as American actor and producer Alec Baldwin's prop gun kills one and injures another on the movie set. Believe it or not, we have the details of that and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, on the international scene, tragic news. Producer and actor Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun just yesterday that killed one crew member and injured another on the set of a movie, Rust, that is being filmed in New Mexico, the Santa Fe's County Sheriff's Office said. Now, viewers, the film's director of photography, Keyona Hutchins, 42 years old, was killed, and director Joel Souza, 48, was injured when Baldwin, 63 years old, discharged the staged firearm, the agency said in a statement just last night, Thursday evening. Now, viewers, Hutchins was flown by helicopter to the University of New Mexico hospital, where she was pronounced dead, according to the police's office. Agents for Hutchins said in a statement on Friday that the cinematographer was a rising star of the craft who was relentlessly cheerful and optimistic. The statement said, and I quote, Keyona Hutchins was a ray of light, always smiling, always hopeful. She decided early on that she would take the craft of cinematography by storm, and the last couple of years proved that she was well on her way. Her talent was immense, only surpassed by the love she had for her family. All those in her orbit knew what was coming. A star director of photography who would be a force to be reckoned with, end of quote. Now, here's the other victim. Mr. Joel Souza was taken to hospital by ambulance, officials said. Francis Fisher, who stars in the movie, tweeted overnight that Souza was out of the hospital. His spokesperson confirmed the news Friday in an email to NBC News. Now, viewers, the Santa Fe, New Mexican reported that Baldwin was seen Thursday outside of the Santa Fe's sheriff's office in tears, as you will be seeing soon. Images obtained as well showed that Baldwin was in a parking lot outside of the office. In one photo, the actor is seen bending over by the curbside, and in another, speaking on the phone. In his first comments about the prop shooting, Baldwin on Friday said he was in contact with Hutchins' family. He said, and I quote within that tweet, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Keyona Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours," end of quote. He continued, "I am fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred, and I am in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who knew and loved Keyona," end of quote. Now, viewers, up to press time, no charges have been filed. The sheriff's office said this is according to the department, and they added that the investigation is currently ongoing. Sheriff deputies were dispatched just around 1:50 p.m. local time after a 911 call was placed about the shooting on the set, the office said. Ron, I don't think you can really wake up and envision that this would be the news that will be hitting the headlines. Clearly a tragedy. Based on what we know, no arrests have been made in this situation, and it seemingly Mr. Baldwin is communicating and cooperating rather with law enforcement, but nevertheless such a tragedy. And again, nothing that we could have predicted. Our hearts and prayers are with them.
It is absolutely a tragedy. It's not something that we have never seen before when it comes to the entertainment stage and industry. Persons have concert, freak accidents do happen, and I cannot imagine the devastation that this has taken the entire world of Hollywood by storm. And we do continue to keep all of the persons concerned and affected by this within our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely. Viewers, that is all the time we have, but we want to encourage you to check us out via our website over the weekend, 284media.com.
Yes.
We're also on Facebook and Twitter at 284BVI. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. It is always a pleasure. A happy Friday to each and every one of you. Have a beautiful weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.